That was before I freaking experimented on the yeah, so it was like, so I had nothing good. This is the I will give you my age. Like that mean, one of my favorite songs in the show. Jeremy also like, it's love and you. It's you. I like other songs on more. Yeah, it's one of my favorites. I think it's such a cute song. It's a song. So that's why there's different junior. Oh, word. Yeah. It's good with hot fudge on it. Hope I was smiling. Here we go to Matsura. Matsura. Yeah. Sushi. Yeah. Yeah. It's good. It's 1 minute of the water. It's too loud in there, so we always get it to go. Oh. We had bad experience. We had a bad experience. Like some sorbet?
Noted for next time. For you. Yes. Okay, so I think we still have, I think you made
Never heard back from the president. I haven't been to this.
It might even be larger. But yeah. And then that's where like the student assistant is.
What will they do inside here?
So one student assistant is just going to be like clerk or and then one, I said they're going to be one for each. Oh yeah. So one's clerk work, one's GR stuff, and the third is program.
And they have two right now, right?
Yeah, I think they've already got like a clerical person and
What can students do in this? It was like a story that the old vice president would always tell at every. But whoa. For sure. University of Miami LGBTQ Student Center. This is Van. How can I help you?
The new LGBTQ Center strives to promote awareness by offering services such as mentorship programs and exciting programming like Coming Out Week in October. The new LGBTQ Center will strive to promote awareness through services like mentorship programs and exciting programming in the fall and the spring semester, such as Coming Out Week in October. All right, so how are you, Morgan?
I'm doing well. How are you?
Great, great. I'm just gonna adjust the audio a little bit.
Sure. My name is Morgan Owens, and I'm a senior.
I was talking about it with Casey. So, Morgan, could you talk a little bit about your involvement with Spectrum and how finally seeing the center come into fruition? What are your initial emotions?
Yeah, absolutely. I first got involved in Spectrum as a freshman. I went to their orientation event and then applied to be their fresh person representative. And so I got to do that my freshman year, which was great. And then as a sophomore, I was their treasurer. And, oh, God, sorry. I started as their fresh person representative when I was a freshman, and then as their sophomore, I helped lead their support group. And then last year, I was their treasurer, which was really great. But part of last year, and what made last year really fantastic, was the arrival of President Frank. And at his town hall, our executive board decided that we should be sure to attend and ask some questions about LGBTQ life on campus. And almost immediately after that, we got an invitation to meet with him personally, which was great. And we knew that that was going to be a really important window of opportunity for advancing our agenda of what kind of changes we wanted to make on campus. So our first priority was asking him for this wonderful center. And he was really enthusiastic about it. Dr. Whiteley was there too, and she had already started making some plans for it. So I think his approval for it kind of helped push it along, but it was definitely something that there was already some enthusiasm about. And then as that year progressed, we heard a little bit more about, who the director was going to be. Students got the opportunity to meet the finalists for the position and interview them a little ourselves and provide our own input for who we chose. And, the result of that is the wonderful Dr. Van Bailey. And it's surreal to see that it's actually happening and that something that the organization has wanted for so long really kind of all happened, it feels like, in just a year. But it's really exciting.
Now that the center is actually here, why would you encourage students to visit the center to see the types of services that the center can offer?
Sure. I know at least a big part of my freshman experience, even though I'm from Miami originally, was feeling very alone, feeling very alienated, and particularly feeling like the people around me and even just my peers in my freshman dorm weren't very similar to me. And that's really difficult. And it's, the insidiousness of that is that feeling alone makes it more difficult to reach out to other people for help. And that, first and foremost, I think is what the center is here for. It's here to have someone to talk to have someone to help you out when you need assistance and feel like you don't know what to do yourself or feel like you can't do it yourself, and really to give a home for all students. And it's not just LGBTQ students, of course. It's for anyone who needs that space. Of course, it was designed for LGBTQ students, but we want everyone to feel welcome.
It's finally here. This is the final, not the final hurrah, the initial hurrah, right?
Yes, hopefully it's just the beginning of the story. It's really exciting, and I think particularly as I'm a senior, for my first few years at UM, I worked hard to try and change stuff, but it was mostly small changes or independent people making their own personal changes to how they behaved here on campus, and to be able to hopefully graduate from UM and leave this behind is a really, really good feeling that I've been able to, make our school just a slightly better place.
Hello, how are you? Okay. I'm doing well. This is a great event. I am Danny Gomez, DANNY GOMEZ. I'm sorry?
What year are you in?
I'm a junior.
So, Jenny, you said you weren't at the LGBTQ Center.
Yes.
How did you feel about the initiative?
I love it. It's a great initiative, and we do a lot of event planning, which it's really fun for me.
And now that the center is finally open, how do you feel about it?
I thought it was a great step. I started working as the LGBTQ student coordinator 2 years ago when I was just a desk in the Butler Center. So the fact that we now have this space, it's a great achievement for the university as a whole.
And could you talk a little bit about some of the types of things students can do in the center, the types of services?
Of course, yeah, like the center is gonna have Dr. Bailey and some offices, but it's also gonna be a lounge space for students to, come and chill, do homework, hang out. So we're looking forward to that as well.
And as a student assistant, what are some of the events that you're planning? What are some of the things that we can look forward to?
Right now we have a mentorship program, so applications for that are going out soon. If you want a mentor that identifies LGBTQ, you can definitely check that out. And then we will be having, I can't really think of it right now. We're gonna have a social, like a masquerade ball in October, like a Halloween type of thing. And we also have a December kind of like ball as well for before we go on fall break. And you can also look forward to Pride and the Lavender celebration in the spring semester.
So if someone, are there opportunities for people to get more involved with the LGBTQ students?
I mean, yeah, definitely. We can always take volunteers for all of our events. So people can definitely make sure to sign up for a listserv where they can get more information, or even check us out on our social media, which is just LGBTQ for all of them, and then they can be posted that way.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
So I just wanted to ask you a few initial questions
Sure.
about your initial reactions now that the center is finally open.
Yeah.
How does it feel to see this coming into fruition?
It feels amazing. I think that, there's been a lot of hard work that's happened on campus to get the center open. So I know, not just myself, but I think for a lot of people, they would say, dreams come true in a sense. As well as, I've just been really excited about the reception that the center has been getting. We had really great turnouts for our first, couple of open houses. One focused on faculty and staff during the day, and then in the evening for students. And we, have had packed houses, so it's been great. And, I think people are excited, people are ready, people are happy to engage, so yeah.
Perfect. And could you talk a little bit about your personal journey and how you got to where you are today?
Sure. So a little bit about myself. I'm a little bit of a nomad in a sense. People ask me where I'm from, but my dad was in the military, so we moved around a lot. And, I have experienced homelessness due to my identity. I grew up in a relatively large family, oldest child, and grew up with parents who come from a pretty conservative religious background. And while I found a lot of community and healing growing up, being involved in that particular religious denomination, I also found a lot of rejection from my family, and I think they were having a really hard time understanding my sexual and gender identity. And so I experienced homelessness, and because of that, I had, to me, one of the best experiences of my life, which was to go to college and to go to a school that, is pretty small. It's in Granville, Ohio. It's called Denison University. It was a residential school, so I could live there all 4 years, had room and board provided for me, which is great, and really discovered my love for student affairs work. Didn't know anything about student affairs really, but I was an RA. I was highly involved on campus, was the president of the Black Student Union, was involved in student government and whatnot. So, it was really an opportunity for me to really discover my career passion. And so, I really, got involved in student affairs because I feel like, in a sense, higher education saved my life. If it wasn't for the mentors and the people that I had around me in undergrad, I don't think I would have gotten into this field or necessarily even matriculated through school because I didn't have a lot of family support back at home. So that's a little bit about myself. I did the whole kind of grad school, had my first job in California in housing, loved that, and was able to start 2 living learning communities, and one of which was focused on LGBTQ populations. And so I was like, okay, I think that this is really what I want to do. And after that, I became the assistant director of the LGBTQ Center at University of California, San Diego. And that's when it was cemented for me. You know, working with those students really changed my life, really gave me perspective about how important it is to have institutional resources for LGBTQ students. And I work with such a diverse population. And so it was, for me, I was able to see LGBTQ folks all along the spectrum of identity, international students, folks with disabilities, working with students who were from California locally, right? Working with students who maybe wanted to go into, you know, the STEM field. So it was just a really diverse population that I was able to work with, and got recruited to start the LGBTQ Center at Harvard. And that was an amazing kind of training ground for me, and learned a lot. And so I think that really set me up to be prepared for this position here. And so, you know, I want to build community with UM and the LGBTQ students here, and I'm really excited about it. So.
Amazing. Thank you for sharing your story.
Yeah, no problem.
So now transitioning into UM, what are some of your initial goals with the LGBTQ Center?
Absolutely. So, you know, our goals year one is to really establish relationships with campus partners, community partners, for folks to know that we're here. You know, we're a very new center, so I want people to know about the space. I want them to know about the staff. As well as really focusing on what is going to be our communication and outreach efforts. So things that you'll see out of the center is like a new newsletter that's going to come out, working on our new website and whatnot. Other goals for us is really getting the programmatic elements of the center up and running. There's been so much great stuff that's happened on campus already, and so we want to absorb the work that so many people have been doing on top of their full-time jobs, right? And absorb that work in the center, and then ask the question, what else needs to be done? And really, you know, this first year, we want to listen to students and what they want to see out of the center. So I invite people to invite me to their student groups, invite me to their general body meetings. I want to learn about the student culture here, as well as getting the staff up and running. You know, we're hiring staff now, and we're getting the center, prepared for, you know, folks to come and visit us. So getting those internal operations up and running. But really, you know, I see us as, you know, being a nucleus, or kind of the center of campus when it comes to advocating and empowering and educating folks about the LGBTQ community. And so, you know, I want folks to see us as their partners, and folks to see us, you know, as, building community here for the LGBTQ community and their allies.
Perfect, thank you. And I was talking to Danny, who's a student assistant.
Oh yeah.
He was talking to me a little bit about the programming that's coming up.
Absolutely.
Could you talk a little bit about what's in the works? What's your calendar looking like? How can people get involved in your events?
Yeah, absolutely. So first, you know, like our Facebook page, that's where we're going to be doing a lot of our updating our events and whatnot. So you can just search UM LGBTQ, all one word, and it will pop up. So we just had our first couple of open houses. We're going to be doing a lot of engagement throughout the semester, for sure. We're launching our mentorship program. So that's where LGBTQ students can get matched with faculty and staff, in which they can find mentors from. Then we're participating and we're sponsoring an amazing program called Dear World that's going to be here next week. Super excited about that. I think it's really powerful for students to be able to share their stories and to be vulnerable with one another, so I'm really looking forward to that. We are going to be doing a lot of visibility for along the spectrum of LGBTQ identity. So in September, we are hosting Bisexual and Pansexual Visibility Day, where people can learn about kind of the nuances of the bisexual and pansexual communities, as well as, you know, find out resources and learn more about the community. October is LGBTQ History Month. So we're going to be doing a lot of programming during that month, and of course, right in the middle of that month is Coming Out Week, in which we're going to be partnering with the student group Spectrum, as well as other student organizations in the graduate schools like Medic Out, Grad Out, Outlaw, to really bring visibility to the LGBTQ community. And so you're going to see that kind of programming happening throughout the year, from Spirit Day, where we're going to ask people to wear purple to show their solidarity with the LGBTQ community, all the way to the spring, where we will be doing things for Miami Beach Pride, Lavender Celebration that honors our seniors, and also, you know, our students can request us to have conversations with their student groups around allyship, and, you know, how to be an ally to the LGBTQ community. So that kind of stuff is going to be launching in the spring as well. So lots of programming that's going to be happening, as well as educational and advocacy opportunities.
Perfect. Thank you so much.
For sure.
And my final question would be, so you're launching the LGBTQ Center at UM. Say, I don't know, 20, 30 years from now, what would be your vision for the center? Yeah. So I think that the center has the potential to be one of the leading LGBTQ centers in the country when it comes to our services, that I can go to a conference and people know exactly who the UM LGBTQ Center is and who the staff is and the programs and the offerings that we have. I see us being a place where staff, faculty, alumni, students are getting resources, that we are a resource for the entire campus community, as well as for the Miami community as well. And so I think that there's a lot of potential for us to grow, and a lot of potential for us to be the leading folks in providing resources and support to the LGBTQ community on college campuses. Perfect. Well, thank you so much.
You're welcome.
Actually, I just wanted to confirm, what was the official date of the opening of the center? Do you remember?
So right, we moved in. We moved in about 2 weeks ago. I would go ahead and say that, you know, our first open house would be kind of like when we opened, right? Which was on the 31st.
The 31st. Okay.
Yeah.
Perfect. Just to confirm. Well,
Yeah.
thank you so much.
Of course. Thank you.